So yeah, they were both Somalian, and then I christened their children.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Welcome to Hoagie Time, everybody. Good to be back this week. Episode, what are we, 11? 10? Who knows? 11.
Yeah, we've hit double digits.
Double digits.
Not counting the lost episode. That's rumored to exist.
It exists.
I'm not going to confirm or deny it.
HT, is it in the files? It does exist, though, right?
I would stop short of confirming or denying.
Okay.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny.
Smart.
But,
Smart man.
There's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Smart.
Gotcha.
Enough said.
Until it's seen and released, neither of us can hold office.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, so we're
That's always been a goal of mine eventually. How was the weekend? How were the gigs?
It was good. I had 2 gigs this weekend.
Tell me.
I was at Crossbar in Havertown on Friday night. It was a great time. Shout out to Scott Hunter, who's an avid listener of the show. Enjoys it quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for listening, pal.
And a DJ on the side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, DJs down the shore under the, what is it?
What's the pseudonym?
Pseudonym, that's what I was going for. Hunter Scott. DJ Hunter Scott.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's him?
That's him. That's Scott.
Dude, I remember seeing that on the Springfield marquee
that's exactly
back in the day.
Yeah,
that's him?
Yep, that's Scott
He
Hunter.
DJ'd the Springfield?
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
No. No, but we always called him that.
Dude, I literally saw that at least I think I did. I'm very impressionable. Anyway, shout out Scott Hunter. Shout out Andrew Izzy that came by and hung out.
Scott didn't even have a Walkman, like back in
That's why I thought it quite unbelievable that he was a DJ. But yeah, I did think you were serious.
He was just a sports star as a young guy, but yeah,
handsome guy.
Shout out to him and how was it? Rich Irish, the poor Irish on our side of Delco.
Yeah, this was over Township Line.
Yeah,
this was.
You know why I'm impressed with those Irish, because they passed on the traditions and of song and cheer and family to their kids. We didn't get that where we grew up. We had the Irish last names and shit, but we had nobody taught us to play instruments and sing the old songs from the old country. Like, there was always a breakup, and like our grandfather didn't help our grandmother raise the kids and was off somewhere else working. Like, there wasn't that tradition passed on.
Yeah. And of course, we're thinking of the Boyces, among many others.
They're number one.
Yeah.
Like,
shout out Boyces.
Yeah, man. Like, the perfect Irish parents that pass on like the gifts of Ireland.
I went into their house
not
once
the curses of
in
Ireland.
Havertown, and I forget the mother's name, but the father's name was Barney. And I went into like their house a couple years ago for something real quick. And as you walk in
Perks, probably.
through the what's that?
Perks, probably.
Probably,
Perks, yeah.
Most likely. And it was when you walk through the porch to get inside the living room, to the side of the doorway, there's a church-style holy water thing with legit holy water in it.
Wow. See, that's beautiful. Like, my grandparent, he just left.
I
my
like
grandmother
the
with
of
6 kids. See that? Like, they had nothing good to say about him. They all had horrible teeth.
Is this Orville?
This is an Orville. Orville.
That's another episode, maybe.
That's another episode. He was a murderer. That's my my grandfather.
Orville Barkley.
Orville Barkley. Yeah, and he went to jail for murder. But no, this is my grandfather, Stephen O'Donnell, and he was He's Ireland, but he had 6 kids and then just left, and didn't come back around. And like the Irish side is littered with that type of bullshit. I think Collingdale Irish are all littered with that bullshit.
And it was way easier to pull off before cell phones and social media.
Oh, yeah,
you
you
could
just weren't into it.
Just roll.
Start new in a new town.
You could start a completely different life 50 miles away, and if they don't know what direction to look in, you're free.
And you're a great guy again. Like, look at this guy. Steve just popped up again,
you probably won't run into anyone else from your previous area.
Nobody, man.
We're not talking cross-country here.
That's how the Midwest got started. People getting in trouble on the East Coast. The West Coast, that was like real getting in trouble 2 times. But yeah, that's cool. That was Saturday.
Saturday. Then I did a private party Saturday, and I'm gonna stop short of even giving you the location.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay consistent with my policy on that.
Absolutely. So. Cool. This week, anywhere?
I haven't looked at my phone yet, to be honest with you.
That's cool.
But I will throughout the episode. I'll check it out at one point.
Yeah, producer dropped the ball again.
Fuck you, Tom. God damn it.
Yeah, I was at Tavola yesterday. And the Eagles won, so
Eagles won.
Yeah, it was good. Everybody's happy, but I can't wait for that first one where the Eagles lose, and I'm there, and they give me to look like I did something wrong. Oh man, can you tell? I'm like, and my volume's exactly where it always is.
Yeah,
you guys are upset, but they're undefeated, 3-0 now. Did you know that the Eagles are favored in every game left on their schedule? The favorite.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I'm happy the Eagles won. But more so than like the football team winning a game, I'm really happy for the wives of like Clifton Heights that can hold their heads up high Monday morning, walking into work, not pretending they
not
fell
have to
down
overdo
the
it
steps.
with the makeup.
I fell.
Yeah.
Not with the old I fell story as they head into
exactly.
work on Monday morning. So shout out Eagles wives everywhere.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Sunday, so that was cool. But this week I got a cool week. I got my Thursday trophy. So, if you head over there during the week, Thursday nights you'll see me. Saturday I am at Glen Olden Community Day for an hour. It's this big
consistent
party.
with your values.
Yeah, right. It's this big party, 12 to 6. They got family, fun, food, games for the kids and all that like stuff. And I play from 3:30 to 4:30. And then afterwards, I'm at 39 North.
So it's family friendly. Are they going to have Chet Hanks come through and talk a little bit? Did you see that
Tom-
video? I sent it to you guys earlier this
Tom
week.
Hanks' son.
Tom Hanks is I don't want to get flagged. Tom Hanks is cheesy, culturally appropriated.
He's a rapper.
Yeah, but he hasn't just adopted a general urban persona.
Right.
I'm tiptoeing around things.
Okay.
Not so much a general
Try
urban
not to.
persona, but it's also reggae. It's like Jamaican.
That's right. He has an
Like,
accent.
tell them say,
yeah, he has
"Yeah,
an
dude."
accent. Yeah.
So
I've heard
funny.
that about him.
So the video I sent you guys, I keep revisiting this a couple times a day. I saw it on TikTok or some shit, and he's giving a speech at like a recovery day, and it's like an outdoor festival, and whatever. He's on this big stage, and it's this thing, and he starts it off by going, "Is anyone here offended by the word God?" And I guess he's trying to frame it like religious or whatever. And I guess one dude kind of raises his hand, and he goes, "Oh, you know what? Then you can get the fuck over yourself." And as soon as he goes, "Fuck," you're like scattered uneasiness in the crowd. And he's like stepping back and forth, and he's like cursing, and the words come up on the video. This is a family-friendly event.
Wow.
And there's kids. It's awkward. He does not back down. He doesn't apologize. He says shit like, hey, if your kids are here and, you don't want them exposed to profanity, then maybe you should take them somewhere else, respectfully. Check it out. Check it out. Maybe we can throw a link on. I don't know how that works.
Was he there to play music?
No. He was just there to speak for recovery because I guess he had drug problems in the past.
Gotcha.
And he was trying to be inspirational. But, dude, it was so
It came off a
fuck-laden that it was ridiculous. And they're like, "Watch your mouth." And he goes, "No, you can watch your fucking mouth." Not at any point did he go, you know what, guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He stood by it and fucking doubled down. It's hilarious.
Guys, I got breaking fake news.
Yeah.
He's now back in recovery.
Oh,
Okay.
so he's high. Yeah. A lot of people, they're the best places to get drugs sometimes.
What's that? The
There's little recovery day things. Yeah, you always got some stragglers there.
That's preying on a week.
But yeah, it varies. But
Shout out to all those in recovery. Stay strong.
But yeah, it's wild how he became such a, when you have a parent, two parents, his mom's a actress too.
Who's his mom?
I don't know, but she
Let me
was.
rephrase that. Who's Tom Hanks hitting?
Tom Hanks' his wife, it goes way back, but they were the people that started COVID. Do you remember that? They were the very first people that had it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's steer clear.
Yeah.
We just had a video taken down for COVID misinformation.
Yeah.
It wasn't even misinformation.
Yeah.
So we have to, I guess, avoid topics as we navigate this brave new world.
They might have started COVID in Australia. But what I was saying is the kid Chet.
COVID, which is very real.
It was very real.
A very real thing.
Absolutely. I had it. And
I had it twice.
But she, how does the kid end up like that? You got a parent like that. You don't need to be edgy, or maybe you just need to. You have everything given to you. Like, how do you get a reggae? Your white kid,
Caribbean
obviously.
vibes, late night
Caribbean
BET,
vibe, yeah.
same way I did.
Yeah, exactly. But you can understand yours. You're the struggle.
Yeah,
he didn't really have to.
He didn't have the struggle that I had.
Yeah.
But dude, so hilarious. Like the culture of like Jamaica, like I don't know where that comes in.
Yeah.
But dude, it was Irish
Nowhere near
weekend.
Hollywood.
To pop back to, we were talking Ireland for a second ago.
Yeah.
Crossbar the Voices was Irish weekend.
Yes.
Down in Wildwood this
I heard,
weekend.
Yeah, I heard all about that with the accident. That's horrible. Car.
Different, yeah.
That was on the other end. That was on Rio Grande side, right, of Wildwood. So Irish weekend is predominantly North Wildwood.
Yeah.
In Wildwood proper, there was that car thing that happened.
Yes.
It was they're assholes.
And
man.
like from what I understand, like a week out, Wildwood Police Department on Facebook was saying, look, I don't know if you guys have heard, but in addition to Irish Weekend happening in North Wildwood, there's also a completely unsanctioned, like they stressed it, that it was not approved,
right,
unsanctioned car event that's also going to be taking place. We did not sign off on this. I guess there's a community of car people online.
Right.
And they just collectively on
I read
whatever
about
website just said that this is what we're doing.
Yeah, a couple of years or last year, they were in Ocean City, Maryland. and it got big there, and there was a bunch of shit that happened there with the police, like they hit a couple of pedestrians and all that. But it started out as European cars, like Audis and Volvos and shit like that, like enthusiasts for those kind of cars. They're just a fan club. And it was supposedly first booked for Atlantic City, but somehow got moved to Wildwood. But then what were they doing? Drag racing? Like, what happened?
Dude, yeah, there's video on Twitter, and I've seen it. Yeah, they're drag racing on streets that are not closed down, and there's other vehicles on the road that have that aren't part of it.
Yeah, what are they?
That are just trying to fucking go wherever. And the one video I saw, these two dudes take off in a drag race, and the one gets clipped from a car not involved, trying to make a turn, not realizing the guy's going to be right there in a second because he's going 80 miles an hour. Then as they hit the car in the back, it like changes the car's trajectory of the guy racing.
Wow.
And he hit like a family. He hit a car, and a dude died in the car. And then there was like a family in a golf cart, or then like there was like a girl on the. There was like a dozen accidents.
And there's people like on the street cheering them on, like egging them on, I guess, to like to race.
I guess, yeah, I guess. I mean, apparently, I was having a conversation. Speaking of Crossbar, I was having a conversation with Sean, the proprietor there, and as we were doing
shout out Sean,
shout out Crossbar Hefferton, and as we were doing it, the guy mopping the floor was like, "Yo, a lot of my friends were down there." And he's like, I'm kind of part of that crew. Like, he's like, he's not taking responsibility for it. He goes, I need to tell you guys that the car community is upset with those assholes. Yeah. It's not what we're about. So I should have got the kid's name. I should have invited him over tonight, to be honest, to get that side. But he said the car community as a whole, and you're hearing it exclusively on Hoagie Time. The car community as a whole does not condone the actions of a select few.
It's just so dangerous. You know how some people, they think it's fun, like, but there's other people out there that are just walking around with their kids on a weekend. Like, your danger or your fun is someone else's danger, and whenever that like collides, the danger loses out. You need to chill if you're going to impede on someone's fun or on somebody's normal life. So you can't be racing around the streets if somebody can get hit and die, and that's what happened.
I'm not even standing on a skateboard after a few beers because I'm afraid of like that danger. Let alone
it's
racing.
Irresponsibility, definitely. But
also, the magnitude of what was going on there. This is how messed up this is. It was a 2-county all-call for police help. People as far as Atlantic... Think about how far Atlantic City is to Wildwood.
Almost an hour, 40 minutes at least.
They had to get... everyone from Cape May up to Atlantic City came to help Wildwood police. That's how out of hand it got.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, man, love your cars, but like, try not to kill people?
Yeah, they were completely unprepared for something of that magnitude. Think about it. Irish Weekend, you need it all for that.
Yeah.
Then this comes down where actually you're driving around in 3,500-pound machines.
Yeah.
Man. But
because you're expecting there's going to be a lot of police activity during Irish Weekend.
Right.
But you're thinking it's going to be like
you won't,
2 red-faced 60-year-old, 70-year-old retired cops.
Up by Yuri's on Rio Grande or something.
Fighting or
Nothing
something.
Too big deal.
Yeah, not car races.
But that had to really, when people down at Irish Weekend hearing that, I mean, I had to put a scare into people. It's tough. Thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the lost. It's really tough.
Yeah.
But that was this weekend. But yeah, this Sunday, to go back, I got JT Brewski's again.
Oh,
it's my first.
Past? No,
coming up. Yep, it's the first Sunday of the month, so I'm there 4 to 7.
Wow, is that your schedule there? First Sundays now?
First Sunday of every month. Yep.
All right, so this episode will come out later on in the week.
Yeah, so you'll have time.
Go out and see Money Mike.
Yeah, you'll have Saturday at Glen Olden and 2 gigs in Glen Olden, and then Sunday JT Brewski's.
2 gigs in Glen Olden?
Yeah, that's Saturday.
Nice.
Yep.
Boy, Glen Olden's lucky.
Yeah.
No wonder property values are skyrocketing. They have some of the finest live entertainment in the land.
They really do. They got some good places.
They do.
There's always some live music going on.
I said that joking, but like as it came out of my mouth, that's honestly.
Adam Levine's actually at the Fainting Goat.
Yeah, is he really?
Yeah. Did you hear about him?
Doing the I heard something. What was he doing?
He was basically, he's married with kids, but he would creep girls, like, I guess it's called sliding into your DMs.
That's what the kids say.
That's what the kids say. Yeah. Well, he's been doing it for years, talking like, "Oh, you're so hot" and all that kind of shit. And finally, the girl he was doing it to, like, called him, or no, he went to one girl who he was having an affair with, wrote her out of the blue, said, "Listen, me and my wife are pregnant. I want to know if it's a boy, can I name him your name?" And she's like, "What?" Like, I don't know her. So she went public with it, destroyed him.
Jesus.
Then he tried to say he didn't really have an affair, but he did. Because all these girls now are coming out of the woodwork saying, like, "Yeah, me too. He does it to me too." and I'll just say like high school, like something like a high school jock would say, like, "Oh, you're so hot." Oh,
I did
no,
see,
the pickup lines are horrible.
the meme I saw was funny. I didn't know the whole background, but the meme was like, "Holy fucking fuck, your body is insane." It's exactly what you would think he would write. But like, come on, man, just
people, yeah, man, they'll
I mean,
risk
he's
it all.
creeping on DMs. It's
She's
Adam Levine.
His wife is a Victoria's Secret model. Like he did all right. I mean, but people just get bored, man. It's wild that people will risk everything for like a few minutes of pleasure. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's human nature. It's not something that's going to stop tomorrow because I said, but you know,
yeah, Adam Levine.
yeah, it's crazy.
Wild. Like you have to just assume that at some point somebody's going to recycle that for if nothing else for shock value.
Yeah, it's 2022.
But come on, man. Yeah, screenshot is so easy.
It's amazing that he did that. Do you like his music?
No, not anymore.
No.
No, and I'm not saying that to be cool. When they came out, I thought they were great because their sound was very, I'm thinking like Harder to Breathe.
Yeah.
It was very, or like Sunday Morning. It was like
Sunday Morning's
throwback
great song.
R&B.
Yep.
And it was like, cool, this is a band that has a throwback R&B sound.
Right.
And then somewhere, they've been going at it. This was 20 years ago, in all fairness.
Yes.
So I can say I'm not into them, but they've had a career for 20 years.
Yeah.
Somewhere along that line, I think not very long after that first album, the songs they started releasing, to me, I remember hearing a song and it was something like "I Want to Dance the Night Away."
Or moves like Jagger.
And it just sounded like he started singing songs that if he wrote them, maybe he should have just given them to like Christina Aguilera or a girl singer.
Yeah.
Like the songs, I guess were catchy enough, but like it didn't sound like
a band would be singing that song.
right.
Yeah, it was more.
But then
like
he did that
Rihanna.
Super Bowl. Yeah, then he did the Super Bowl performance a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And he's shirtless. I wanted to ask you this. He's shirtless and he's all tatted up or whatever, looking like a Chipotle bag. I saw someone say, which is hilarious.
All the tattoos that are weirdly still perfect. None of them faded yet.
Yes, everything's
weird.
Everything looked like it was just fucking blotted on with a wet towel.
Yeah.
So like the shirtless, performing shirtless. Not you, but like what's your take on a big musician performing shirtless?
I think it actually looks cooler if you're not totally perfect. I mean, you can't be a fat fuck like me and take your shirt off, but if you're like
Sublime Dude,
or like, remember Timbaland used to take his shirt off and play the drums sometimes? I thought that looked cool. If you got something like that, just, if you're all right, I think it's cool. If you can do it, you can do it. I won't do it.
I feel like these are my thoughts on it, folks. Sit down and jot this down. I feel like when you're taking your shirt off, you're just sideshowing. You're just trying to like show up the music. Doesn't matter what your body looks like. No, I agree. It's sublime. And I don't mean like being like intimidated by a jacked dude.
Yeah.
Or just being like, oh, he's so jacked, like fuck him.
Right.
Like if you're that hot on like you're never that hot on stage to where a shirt is really fucking you up your day.
Yeah.
And you have to. At that point, you're just going, look at me. Like, forget about the music. Like, my shirt's off.
Yeah.
And it's cool to be free, I guess, on stage and whatever. But, like, it's never really that hot where you have to fucking take your shirt off. I don't get that.
Yeah. Imagine Dragons. There was just a post that came out today.
Yeah.
He had
take
one
that
where
picture and throw it up.
the guy from Imagine Dragons, he has his shirt off.
He's
ripped,
jacked.
dude. And everyone's like, you don't have one song in your catalog that matches this energy. Dude, like, come on. Everything's like... But yeah, I think it's a good look for, you know, like skinny kind of like, what's the guy's name? Iggy Pop kind of looks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
yes.
that's a cool
Dudes
look.
like that, I'll sign off on, and here's why. Because they look so dirty to begin with.
Yes.
That you're just imagining this dude's been in a van with his band for 3 months.
He doesn't even have a shirt.
He doesn't
You
have a
know
shirt
Yeah.
that's fucking remotely clean and remotely smells okay enough to wear. So that's his thing. And like, look at
he's
like
wearing what he owns.
But Adam Levine with a perfectly coiffed hair and these looking like water soluble tattoos freshly applied.
they're bad tats.
Come on, dude. He wasn't even sweating.
You got to have the right tats. But yeah, as far as him, I did like Maroon 5, but I feel like the stuff in the last 10, 15 years has been exactly what you said, like about like, it could be like a Rihanna song or something like that.
Yeah.
They just announced she'll be at the 2023 Super Bowl.
Really?
After like a bunch of people turned it down. I think Beyonce turned it down, somebody else, but it's not a good gig.
But Rihanna is part of the Apple Music brand, so I mean, Apple just took it over. So I mean,
is that what it is?
Yeah. So Apple Music, it's not the Pepsi halftime show anymore. Now it's the Apple Music halftime show. So one of the higher end people that get the higher royalties, one of them had to step up. You know.
I'm always confused by the selection of artists.
The two things I know about Super Bowl is that you don't get paid for it. I know that the payment is the exposure. So you never get paid for it, and whoever plays, it's always backing tracks. It's never live, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's too big of a production for them to have anybody play it, really.
Was Prince? I don't think Prince would sign off on backing tracks. Did Bruce Springsteen and those guys sign off on backing tracks?
Springsteen definitely would. He would for that.
Why is it always like... I always feel...
there's a documentary of Prince, because it's the only Super Bowl where it rained.
Yeah,
and
during
the
Purple
producer,
Rain.
Yeah, but then the producer of the halftime show goes to Prince. He goes, "It's going to rain a lot." And he goes, "I hope it storms even more." And the
legend.
His two girls.
Yeah. The legend.
Imagine how seductively he said it nose to nose with this cameraman guy.
Without looking him in the eye.
Yeah.
I can't remember the two girls.
I hope when it rains, it pours, baby.
Dance,
but
they
Prince
dance
went,
in high heels
Jeez.
on the stage.
So Prince, he probably had to play. He would have allowed himself not, but I guess because the production's so big, it's always just they're lip singing. But a lot of people don't want to do the gig because it's unpaid, and it's like, and it always seems to be the same acts. Like it's never anybody new and upcoming.
I never feel like it caters to the actual demographic of people that watch the NFL. Like, I don't mean racially, but like it's guys. Yeah. Like, what guy is throwing on Rihanna? And a lot of guys listen to it, but is it just something for the ladies? Yes. Like, hey, we know that you're suffering through this.
And the kids. It's something for them. So they're watching the whole way through. So the game's on and nobody's changing during halftime. So they're trying to get the people that aren't necessarily NFL fans.
But I'm picturing like everyone's Uncle Pete, like in Zubas, getting psyched up for the game, listening to Steve Miller Pandora. He doesn't give a fuck about Rihanna.
He's getting a meatball sandwich somewhere. Don't worry about Pete. Pete's all right.
And you can imagine Pete's comments when Rihanna takes the stage. I think we all can.
What is this shit? This horse shit.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
He's getting a meatball sandwich, like roast beef somewhere. Every party growing up I ever went to was a roast beef, meatballs, and shells. Yeah, and that was it.
In the fucking thin aluminum trays with the sternos underneath. Yeah. Everything disposable. Yeah.
So that would be the halftime of a Super Bowl. Everybody be in the kitchen with their shells, some meatballs, and buds. But so Rihanna's there. But there's been some good ones. But
dude, I just heard the fucking the last year's one with Dr. Dre and Snoop and all that shit. That was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was
because they had a couple in a row that were real stinkers. Yeah. So when that came, I was like, I
mean, I was legitimately excited for that, and I thought it was incredible and whatever. Dude, they won an Emmy or like a Grammy or something for that.
Won the performance?
Yes.
Whoa.
It was like the best. I mean. Thank you, Mr. Producer. It was the best for like variety performance, something, whatever. They won an award for that.
Wow, I didn't even think
awesome. And that's a lot of cool production too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it was like that whole sprawled out scene.
Yeah.
That set, I guess.
Yeah.
And while something was going on in that room downstairs, there was something going on upstairs.
Yeah.
If you kept your eye on Snoop, you saw him smoking weed several times.
Yeah. They couldn't stop him.
They couldn't stop him. No one can.
Nobody can. He's the only one that has a pass.
He has a free pass
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And everyone loves him.
So like. There's Bruce, there's Prince, and there's probably, I mean, Coldplay did it one year, but it's usually forgettable.
Yeah.
Besides like ones I just mentioned and Dre last year. Let's hope Rihanna does well. But
because regardless of what you do, like half the people on Twitter are just going to say it sucks just to try to get tweets and just to try to be funny. Like you're never going to satisfy everybody.
Never.
Ever.
Never. But I guess they try to just get the whole, if they can hit every demographic, then maybe they have a better chance the game stays on. Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know. Really.
But yeah, looking forward to it as always.
But Guns N' Roses, did they ever do it, Guns N' Roses?
No.
Yeah, I just saw something today. Duff McKagan. Is he the bass player or
I think so.
He didn't drink water for 12 years. 12 years straight. Everything was vodka or whiskey, or he didn't drink a water for 12 years. His, a pancreas blew up to the size of a football and just burst. Yep. And he's in recovery now, but he was like on death's door, and the doctor asked him. He's like, I haven't had water in 12 years.
John Daly is another guy that never drinks water. He's the best.
What, he's beers?
His resurgence is unbelievable. Like he just kind of like came back into things like in the last year. And he's still doing the same old shit.
He makes golf awesome.
Yeah,
like
if there was more guys like him.
More guys like him, and there are, but they're at Cobbs Creek and Caricon. They're not on the tour.
Every couple of weeks, there's like a new video online of like John Daly like barefooted with a beer in one hand,
like smoke in the other.
Yeah, just doing holes in ones to like like dudes that are like jaws on the ground.
I
like
saw
they just happen to run into them.
Yeah, I saw a video of him hitting balls over a highway. And he's just, no shoes and shit, drinking beers, and he's just whacking them, and they're going over a highway, like overpass, and all of them clear. If it was you or I, like we're hitting one of those cars. Him,
Yeah.
no issue
That's
there.
peak existence. No rules apply, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's not following the rules." No one's trying to talk shit.
Yeah.
No one's trying to like stifle you,
Yeah.
your freedom. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, he does it his own way."
Well, what brought him back was there was that tour. It was the event where his son, and then they
it's the
played with
PNC
Tiger.
It's the PNC Father family event. And in 5 years from now, you're going to see Charlie Woods versus John Daly's son. They're going to go head-to-head in the PGA Tour. Charlie Woods just shot 3 under at one of the hardest courses in the United States.
I saw that this week. He popped up the kid.
Is
Yeah,
that
and
Tiger's
his dad-
boyfriend
Yeah,
or his
Tiger-
son?
His son.
His son.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not.
Tiger
he's not
Woods
gay.
caddied for his
Oh.
son this weekend, and he shot 3 under. And I played this course 10 years ago. And
4
I-
under.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I consider myself a decent hacker. Like, I'll shoot like 87 to 95 consistently. Yeah, I shot 110 there. So that's how hard that course is. And he's 14 and he shot 3
Wow.
under.
I'm embarrassed for you. That was horrible.
Thank
You played horrible, Tom.
I did.
No, like
I did. I am embarrassed.
I'm I'm a terrible golfer. I golf like once a year, and my brother's so good that I get like mad at him, and like halfway, like by the end of
Jealousy
it, like,
and shit?
Jealousy, yeah. And then I start getting mad that he looks better than me, skinnier, and all that.
Oh,
But
hang
it
on.
all starts with golf.
That's a slippery
Quick,
slope.
quick
man.
shout
man.
out to Brendan McPoyle, 1994 from Bonner. I just played in his outing today, and we won. Bang.
Oh,
Shut
really?
up, Brandon.
You golf today?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because you met like being at that level of coolness to where like the rules don't apply to you.
Yeah.
Prince got there.
When I'm at my best, I feel like that's me.
Remember when we were in Thug Folk?
Yes.
And we,
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, we started playing at like a Casey's, Bryan Street, Spectators when that was around.
Oh,
But we
yeah.
started playing and we brought a lot of people out. Like we packed places with kids from all the whole area. So when we would play for a straight year, there was always a couple hundred people. It got to me and his head, and we would think like we would get wasted at these gigs.
This is what I thought you
And
were
then
going to say.
think, like, waste it. And then get like driving home. It wasn't even a question that both of us would just say, we're in Thug Folk, and we just packed Casey's.
Yeah.
And then that was fine. The cop would absolutely understand, and there wouldn't even be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty good. All right, be safe. Like
Yeah.
we really thought we were immune to it. Like we
Yeah, I did. It's no joke. Like I thought we could say we packed Casey's, officer.
and this historical record shows neither of us are immune to it. I'm sure there's archives. I'm sure there's archives that show that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I remember that too. And it was like, and I remember getting upset, like if a bar tried to like, even if we weren't playing one night, if a bar tried to charge me for beers, I'd be like, yo, like played here with my band a couple months ago. Like,
Yeah, that had
fucking
like,
entitlement.
When we started, that,
Peaking very early.
Yeah, exactly. This is that segment. But when we started, it was unheard of for anyone to charge you ever. Now it creeps in a few places, but I still kind of just like act like I didn't hear them.
I could go all day at the Springfield and Sea Isle for $20
Yeah.
all day.
I mean, but are you tipping or did you have to pay that?
That was the tip.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't have to pay. Yeah.
$20.
Yeah. That was awesome yeah. Throw that on the bar. You got a guitar. You're doing some work.
Yeah.
So I am totally on that team. And most bars do kind of honor the code and the agreement. But
Yeah. Let's just get this out of the way now. If you're a bar and you're not giving your performer, you're not giving the band a bar tab within reason. Like if you've got dudes
You
that are
can't
taking
kill
advantage
them.
of it.
Yeah, can't
if
kill
you're buying shots for a group of girls, if you're drinking Long Island iced teas in your home, no. But if you're a guy, well, like, look, I won't be vague about this. When I come to your establishment to play some music, it's me. It's just me.
He's talking
I'm
for
going to do
himself.
a couple shots. I'm going to have a few beers. But as long as I'm not chasing people out, I know what you pay wholesale for beer. You're making a ton of money.
he does.
I'm not
You have
cutting
inside
in.
information.
I'm not
fair.
cutting into your profits for the night. Yeah, you should not, especially if it's a solo acoustic guy or a couple
Yeah.
guy,
You're
maybe a
carrying
meal.
all the music. You're carrying all the music.
If
for 4
they're
hours.
not chasing people away,
Yeah.
then they can eat and they can drink.
Yeah,
if it
Grant-
gets out of hand, have a conversation, but don't give me a bar tab for $11.
Yeah, it's
because I had
a little
3
bit of a
pierogies
snack,
during my break.
have you gotten pierogies at a gig?
Yes, dude. It happened a couple. I got charged for it, and at the end of the night, the bartender was like, "Oh, I think I got a tab for you." I was like, "I don't know. Do you?"
You might be the only dude ever that's gotten pierogies at a gig.
Yeah,
you got it, like music.
I'm on broad. I'm unhinged. I'm unhinged. And
so you got into it with the waitress?
I didn't get into it. I just got snarky. I was like, "I don't know. Do you?" I wouldn't know why, and she's like, "I don't think she got it." And then she came back, and it was a tip. It was a check for $11.
Really? Huh.
And since I said tip, I'll divulge there was no tip on top of that $10 or $11.
Well, we love bartenders. Shout out to bartenders.
Shout out to bartenders everywhere.
And servers. But this weekend, did you see that thing that popped up in the sky? And like there was like an opening with the light. Like my brother-in-law who works for NASA, Reggie, shout out Reggie. He doesn't really work for NASA, but I never understood what he does. His company sells to, I guess, a company that makes the
I know it's getting old, but goddamn, it's still funny from my spot here.
Well, anyway, hold on.
Highbrow comedy here, folks.
So, I got catch.
Me too.
My brother-in-law, that's right. He works for a company that sells equipment to NASA. But I just cut all that shit out and say my brother-in-law works for NASA. So he works for NASA, and he sent me a picture of that thing in the sky, and he knew exactly what it was, but I stopped paying attention.
It's the rocket launch.
It's called the twilight phenomenon. So basically, it's the exact point where it's sunset, and then the particles from the engines basically light up the sky. So, and it literally looks like a demon is.
Fuck yeah! Because where the sun is, like the way it's shooting.
Yeah, and it's all
looks like they're opening a door, and there's half of it's.
We'll go into deep detail
on our Patreon.
He's having a stroke.
He's having a stroke. The day's finally here.
Yeah,
he's dying.
So it happens. It used to happen maybe once every 10 years.
Do not
but
resuscitate.
The cadence of SpaceX, they launch a rocket every 6 days now.
Yeah.
So it's now happened about 7 times in the past 10 years. So, and it's really cool. And if how am I going to put this without getting us?
Now,
we'll cut it right there.
No, I was about to say whatever you want. Worry about that later.
Oh, okay.
That's what we do in Hoagie time.
SpaceX is killing everything, even because of the thing that happened in 2020. They've now launched more rockets than any other provider in the last 2 years combined. Like China tried to catch them. They can't even get close. But you can literally go to Harris Chester, get to the top floor.
Shout out Harris Chester.
And
I've been there plenty of times.
Any of their launches that go towards the North Pole, you'll be able to see that second stage every single time.
Well, Santa Claus also.
Well, Santa Claus, of course.
You know, they don't want to. They make toys up there, but Harris Chester, dude, I used to go there in the middle of the night, and back at some of my
if you couldn't sleep.
No, like it was planned in my night. Like I would just wait till about 1, 2 in the morning, go and put like $1,000
on a weeknight.
Weeknight, regular night. Nice. Yeah, dude. I was, and then I would play for like an hour, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 10. And just come back home and just be back before the next day started. And just, I had to get that little fix in. But yeah, like the solo trip to Harris, I'm a big fan of that.
Now you can just get that fix on your phone.
You can now. Like I don't do it like, in my younger years when I had money, expendable money more, where I could just do those fun things like on a whim. Yeah. Now I don't really, but I've done it. I've done it as
that was still an excuse for nightlife. Like you still had to go and like do the casino thing.
Yeah.
Like I had buddies that would run to Atlantic City.
Yeah.
It would take that hour drive, like
just an awesome
8 beers deep.
I always have that thing with me where there's always an itch to do like that nightlife, like that wild thing. Like
your nightlife.
I want to have a little edge, like always. So like if like there'll be something in my head that says, yeah, you shouldn't just gamble all that. You need to use that. I was just like, fuck it. You know, live hard, die young kind of thing. And I wish I didn't have that because that mentality takes over a lot.
Dude, I saw a meme or some shit, or maybe it was a song, and it said something like, I tried to live fast and die young, but I'm old and I'm still alive. Now what? I was like, oh, fuck, man.
Dude, you ever think about when you die? Like,
all the time.
When I die, I think
all the time.
Like it would be a great, like all I want is a great party, but you got to get a really good party and then maybe like the first year after, but I don't ever want it to fizzle out. So don't do them, keep doing them. And then nobody shows up like year 5, but I just want everyone to go. I want everyone to be really sad.
Yeah.
As long as there's like a line around the block, I'm cool. Mm-hmm. And a killer beef and beer.
Yeah, with lukewarm rubber roast beef.
Shells. Yeah, exactly. I want it to be
A fat guy playing
your
Irish
typical,
music.
yeah, it's Delco party.
Someone getting
Delco cuisine.
Delco cuisine. Yeah, as an extra special treat, Chef put out some cheesesteak egg rolls for you.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's funny about Delco? When we were growing up, it was always just the fat guy that was the chef.
Yes.
You know, and he wasn't like a chef or anything, but he was just the designated fat person.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Uncle Jerry's the fattest one. That's why he's the one that's got to cook.
Just like in 80s movies. Every 80s movie's had a scene where a fat dude farted. Like, just because you're fat, like, you just have to bust ass all the time, dude.
Exactly. There's just so much. They have so much space here.
Every 80s movie had the fat guy that would fart, and every 80s movie had tits in it for no reason. Oh, what was I saying? Oh. Ay, caramba.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening. Please make sure you check us out. Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell to get the notifications when new episodes and new treats drop.